Harry Kane to Barcelona. That rumor is spreading fast across social media and it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. The move could actually happen next summer. Yes, the club is still dealing with financial problems, but this is one of the few top-tier transfers that looks realistic. And it could mark the grand reopening of the renovated Spotify Camp Nou. In today's episode of the Scout series, let's look at why this transfer makes sense and how Harry Kane could become the face of a new era for Barcelona. CULES. If you'd like to see Harry Kane replacing Robert Lewandowski, leave a like right now. Let's see if this video can reach 1,000 likes. Now let's jump in. Rumors about Harry Kane's possible move to Barcelona in the summer of 2026 started spreading on the 2nd of November. After Sport.es reported there was a high probability of another Bayern star heading to Barça. Journalist Luis Miguel Sanz wrote that Kane could become one of the biggest names of the upcoming transfer window. According to him, there are very few strikers at Kane's level who could realistically leave their clubs for a reasonable fee, and the Englishman is one of them. His fixed release clause of 65 million euros makes the transfer a genuine possibility. Right now, Kane is weighing his options. Staying at Bayern is still on the table, but his camp is also seriously considering a move to Barcelona. The club is aware of the situation, though the final decision will likely come closer to the end of the season. Harry Kane's situation could trigger serious market movement this summer. The striker joined Bayern in 2023 for 95 million euros, becoming the highest paid player in the Bundesliga. When Harry Kane joined Bayern, he made sure to include a release clause that takes effect in the summer of 2026. That will be the final year of his contract, and the clause is set at 65 million euros. It was designed to make things easier if he ever decides to move on from Germany. At 32, Kane is still one of the most reliable goal scorers in Europe. His current numbers are incredible: 22 goals and 3 assists in 15 matches. He remains a world-class striker with a lot of football left in him. Barcelona once took a similar gamble when signing Robert Lewandowski from Bayern at almost the same age. Many doubted that transfer, but it turned out to be a success. The club paid 55 million euros and the Pole repaid that trust with goals that restored the club's dominance. He already delivered 105 goals and 20 assists in 157 games. Now with injuries starting to affect him, it looks like he will leave at 37 when his contract ends. Barcelona is now exploring the idea of signing another elite number 9, but everything depends on the club's finances and whether it can finally comply with the 1-to-1 rule. The dream target is still Julián Álvarez, but his price tag of 120 million euros makes the deal nearly impossible. Erling Haaland would cost more than 200 million, so that option is out of reach too. There are also low-cost options such as Young from Levante, but that's more of a long-term investment. Kane's clause is 65 million euros, but the striker also expects a high salary. At Bayern, he earns 25 million euros gross, and that's a figure Barca could match, though other clubs would surely offer more. Tottenham would love to bring their former captain back, and several English clubs are watching closely. Saudi Arabian teams have also been trying to tempt him with massive offers. Yet, according to Sport.es, the destination that truly interests Kane is Barcelona. The Catalan club already contacted him in the past when he was still at Tottenham, but at that time a deal was impossible. Now the situation is different. The coaching staff loves the idea, and Hansi Flick would be more than happy to see Kane take over from Lewandowski. The experiment with Marcus Rashford turned out well, but this investment would be on a completely different scale. Nothing is decided yet, but the club knows that Kane would seriously consider a move if Barca makes an official offer, which hasn't happened so far. At the same time, Kane recently told the media that he and his family are happy in Munich. He also mentioned that he is open to extending his contract and continuing as the leader of Vincent Kompany's project. Still, he might soon realize that this could be his last real chance to fulfill a lifelong dream of playing in La Liga for one of its 2 biggest clubs. Before Kylian Mbappe joined Real Madrid, Kane was actually their main target for the striker position ahead of 2023-2024 season. That plan changed once Jude Bellingham arrived for 100 million euros and became the face of Madrid's new project. In many ways, Kane's story feels similar to Robert Lewandowski. The Polish striker once thought about joining Real Madrid, but when Barcelona made a serious offer, he did not hesitate. He moved to Catalonia and has been genuinely happy ever since. For Laporta, signing Harry Kane would be a massive boost for his upcoming presidential campaign. It's no secret that club elections are scheduled for summer 2026, and Laporta is expected to announce them in April right before the transfer window. Talks about signing Erling Haaland or Julián Álvarez always sound exciting, but most Barcelona fans now understand the financial reality. Between fair play restrictions and the club's debt, spending more than 100 million euros on a single transfer is simply not possible right now. Harry Kane, however, will be available for 65 million euros. Lewandowski's exit will free up the wage bill. The reopening of the Spotify Camp Nou will also bring a huge financial boost. Barca already has approval for Phase A1. On the 7th of November, there will be an open training session for 27,000 fans. The second stage will allow 45,000, then 60,000, and finally the full 105,000 stadium capacity. The club's financial plan for next year includes a major rise in revenue. The full stadium reconstruction is set to finish just before the new season, and those factors, along with VIP seat sales, should allow Barcelona to restore the 1-to-1 rule. Once that happens, a 65 million transfer suddenly looks very realistic. Barcelona's main issue has never been about making money. The challenge has always been about registration limits. Once La Liga approves the projected revenue plan for the 2026-2027 season, the Kane transfer will become a possibility. The team would gain a world-class striker. Betting on Ferran Torres remains risky, as he has yet to produce a 40-plus goal season. On the other hand, at 32, Kane might actually be in the best form of his career, with 107 goals and 29 assists in 111 games for Bayern. Joining Barcelona and finally fulfilling his dream of playing in La Liga could give him a powerful emotional lift, just like Lewandowski experienced. Imagine that attacking lineup for a second. Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, Harry Kane, Ferran Torres, and Marcus Rashford. Rashford's story already showed that English players can adapt quickly under Hansi Flick and rediscover their best form. That is why signing Harry Kane for 65 million euros would be a bargain. He is performing at the same elite level as Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, and his arrival would immediately raise Barcelona's ceiling. The transfer of Harry Kane could easily become Laporta's golden ticket for the upcoming presidential campaign. Reports already suggest that his main rival might be none other than Lionel Messi, who could support another candidate, possibly alongside Victor Font. Messi's backing alone could shift thousands of votes, so Laporta will move fast and act decisively. And that's why I'm convinced he will go all in for a star signing. It worked with Ronaldinho during his first term. It worked again with Lewandowski, Koundé, and Rafinha during his second. The next big move could very well be Harry Kane. The good news, we won't have to wait long to find out. Maybe this story still feels like fantasy, but that's usually how great stories begin, right? When Lewandowski arrived in 2022, everyone had doubts about his age, his wages, and the finances around the deal. Then came the goals, the trophies, and the feeling that Barcelona was back. Harry Kane feels like the same kind of story. He's a leader with the mindset of a champion, a player who would not just replace Lewandowski, but could become the face of Hansi Flick's new Barcelona, a team that blends Yamal's youth with Kane's experience. Now picture it for a second, a warm evening at the newly rebuilt Spotify Camp Nou, a full stadium with 100,000 fans waiting. The scoreboard lights up and Harry Kane makes his debut. Not so bad, right? So tell me, would you want to see Harry Kane in this team? Share your thoughts in the comments and tell me who else you would love to see in Barcelona's starting 11. If you enjoyed this video, tap like so more Barca fans can find it, and subscribe to stay close to every news story that we break down here on the channel. If you want to go even deeper with news, stats, salaries, and live analytics, download the free Barcelona Live app. The link is in the pinned comment. Thank you for watching. That's it for today. Bye.